So today's going to be a study, and what that means is necessarily that you're playing, or what that necessarily means is that you're playing a short, brief piece of music, but within that piece of music, you're going to be developing certain skills and be using certain techniques, okay? So in this piece, you're going to be developing your bar chords and a little bit of your dexterity when it comes to your left hand, so strength and mobility. Okay, and then your right hand is just going to be your finger picking and your accuracy between, jumping around different strings. Okay, so the first chord is the A minor. So we're going to have your index finger is going to be doing all the barring, so you're going to be pressing down on all the strings. Okay, but we're going to be picking necessarily just 4 strings, which is going to be the E string, A, D, and G for the first chord. And so you're gonna have your index finger over the 5th fret, barring down, and then your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A, pinky on the 7th fret of the D, and then your index finger is gonna be pressing down, and so your index finger is gonna be over the 5th fret of the G string as well. And then your right hand's gonna be finger picking the E, A, D, and G strings. And the way I'm picking is that each 4 of these fingers, your thumb, your index, your middle, and your ring, they're each designated to a certain string. So my thumb is designated to the low E string. My index is designated to the A string. My fuck you finger, my middle finger, is designated to the D string, and the ring finger is going to be on the lovely G string. Okay, and that's the picking pattern, or finger picking pattern, we're going to be using throughout the entire study. Okay, so you're just going to be... And what I'm doing is I'm starting with my thumb on the E, and then I'm skipping the A string and going to the D string with the middle finger. And then I'm coming up on the 3rd hit with my index finger on the A string. Remember that you're holding down the A minor chord the whole time. Okay, so after those 3, okay, then from the A string, I'm gonna jump to the G string. I'm gonna jump to the G string with my ring finger. All right, so and then up to the D string with my middle finger, and then finishing off on the A string with my index. And then the very last bit before we go back to the next measure, I come down on the E string with my thumb and up on the D string with my middle finger. You see how I kind of doubled it up? I went E, D, E. What I mean by E, D, E is the strings I'm hitting with my designated fingers again. And then after I go twice, ba, 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 when I come back to the 3rd time, I just roll like if it was the beginning, coming from the D string to the A string. Okay, so we're going to do that for the first few chords. So first is the A minor chord. Okay, so next, you're going to be still barring down on the 5th fret with your index finger, but now your pinky is going to be on the 8th fret of the A string, and your ring finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the D, while your index is barring. And you hear how there's like a bit of a higher resonance. That's because now instead of finger picking the E, A, D, G. Now we're going to be finger picking the A, D, G, B. And the picking pattern is the same as I explained in the beginning. But instead of starting on the E string, now you're starting down here on this F major chord. Okay? So you're starting on the A string now instead of the E string. So same pattern, but now up here. Again, this chord was 8th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the D string, and 5th fret of the G string. With my index, and I'm also barring down on the 5th fret of the B string. Alright, so those two chords back to back. And then the third chord, we're going to go back up to the E string. You notice how this shape right here, the previous chord, is going to be the same thing but just up now. So coming up here to the C major chord, we're going to have the pinky on the 8th fret of the E, the ring finger on the 7th fret of the A, 7th fret of the A, and then index finger barring down on the 5th fret of the D and the G. Okay, again, same picking pattern. Okay, then we go back home to the first chord, which is A minor. And now here, again, we're barring this whole time. I'm going to move these two fingers the same shape, but down a set. So now my index finger is going to be still barred. Still going to be barred on the 5th fret. So index finger is going to be on my 5th fret of the A. We're barring down just on the 5th fret. And then my ring finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the D. And then my pinky is going to be on the 7th fret of the G. And my fuck you finger is going to be on the 6th fret of the B. And now again, we're going to go back from starting from the E string to the G to starting to the A string to the B string. Okay, so let's play all the chords back to back up to that point. And then the next chord, the last two chords. Okay, so this next one isn't going to be bar chord anymore. This is where the little bit of dexterity comes in. So you're working on your bar chords and now your dexterity. So you're jumping from this stiff barred chord shape to a pretty, you know, pretty dynamic looking chord. And then this little transition here is going to help you a lot. So you're going from here to here. Oops. A nice F major something something something. It's pretty nice. So now you're gonna go from bar chord here to, technically, since my ring finger is right here on the 7th fret of the A, I like to just move this down one. Okay, so now my ring finger is on the 8th fret of the A string, and my fuck you finger is 7th fret of the D, index finger 5th fret of the G, and then pinky 8th fret of the B. And you really want to arch your fingers. I need more cameras. You really want to arch your fingers so they're not muffling out any other notes, so everything's nice and clear. All right, so same picking pattern. And then the last chord, the only things that are going to change are these two. So you're going to go from here to your pinky coming up to the 9th fret of the D, and your index finger coming to the 6th fret of the B. No, I lied. Your pinky is coming to the 9th fret of the G, and your index finger is coming down to the 6th fret of the B. While your ring finger is on the 8th fret of the A, and your middle finger is on the 7th fret of the D. I like to end on that dissonant. Well, it's not even that dissonant. It's just those last 3 notes are. Cool. All together again. But yeah, once you could land that pretty cleanly, you're on a good start. As you could see right there, I have some work to do myself on this chord progression. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and this has been a OG style video. Thank you guys.